Kody Brown, a guy who supported plural marriage and the unity it could provide, had once been the proud patriarch of a large, polygamous household. He navigated the intricate web of relationships between his 4 wives and their numerous children, basing his entire life on this conviction. However, that foundation started to crumble as the years went by. His formerly devoted family began to doubt his judgment, leadership, and most importantly, his love. Kody's apparent partiality for Robyn, the 4th and youngest woman he had lawfully married after divorcing Meri, had been the subject of the most enduring dispute for years. Kody claimed to love each of his children equally, yet his behavior belied this claim. He was often observed putting Robyn and her children, Aurora, Brianna, and Dayton, above the others, spending more time with them, paying more attention to them, and in some situations providing for them financially while ignoring his older children. Recently, however, something had changed. People who had watched Kody's interactions with Robyn's children noticed a shift, a disconcerting detachment. Hey, hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel TLC Flicks. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Let's dive into the latest drama. In the Brown household, the dad who used to lavish Aurora and Brianna with attention and treat them like princesses now appeared concerned, distracted, and less committed. Although the partiality had not completely vanished, there was a noticeable shift. Once self-assured in her role as Kody's lone surviving wife, Robyn was reportedly experiencing anxiety. She had maintained that Kody was a good father to all of his children and had defended him against charges of neglecting them for years. However, even she was now unable to deny that Kody's focus appeared to be shifting. Did the public scrutiny and growing pressure cause this? Was Kody beginning to recognize the devastation his choices had caused? Or was there something deeper at play? Something even Robyn herself couldn't control? Leon Brown's cryptic warning. A family fractured amid this brewing tension. Leon Brown, formerly known as Meri, had re-emerged with a chilling warning. Leon, Kody and Meri's only child, had witnessed firsthand the instability in the Brown home. They had separated from the family throughout the years, removing themselves from the drama and adopting a new identity apart from the polygamous society in which they had been raised. Even yet, Leon still bore the wounds of their childhood, and they were aware of what was going on with Kody's younger kids. They must awaken before the time runs out. People who were still following the Brown family's disintegrating story were shocked by this message, which was allegedly exchanged with a close friend. Was Leon referring to Brianna and Aurora? And if so, what exactly was the warning about? Some felt that Leon was concerned about the way the girls were being raised under Robyn's influence, trained into believing in a family structure that was progressively killing itself. Others believed the warning was about Kody himself, his shifting emotions, his unpredictable parenting, and the emotional toll it may take on those closest to him. The turmoil that afflicted the rest of the family had never affected Aurora or Brianna. Robyn's children had grown up in a bubble, thinking their father was always there, in contrast to Christine and Janelle's children, who had publicly spoken out about Kody's carelessness and partiality. However, that delusion was now starting to fall apart. Would they notice before it was too late? Or would they discover what it meant to be a child of Kody Brown the hard way, like so many others before them? Meri Brown responds. The fans were shocked by her Instagram post. Meri Brown, Kody's first wife and the one who had supported him the most, posted a statement on social media that had fans talking as if the family strife wasn't enough. Real love doesn't operate that way. Some people only love when it suits them. No names. No outright charges. However, the connotation was clear. Meri had suffered a great deal of heartbreak at Kody's hands. She had been his lawful wife, but when he chose to wed Robyn instead, she was abruptly thrown out. For years, she had struggled to keep up a relationship with him, holding out hope that things could be fixed. However, Kody had stated unequivocally that they were no longer in love. Immediately, fans conjectured that this cryptic tweet was aimed at Kody, a covert but public admission of the hurt he had caused her. But was Meri simply releasing her irritation, or was this the beginning of something bigger? Was she at last prepared to reveal the truth about Kody Brown and his long history of mistreating his wives and kids? Reactions exploded in the comments section. Meri has finished being kind. She is prepared to share everything. She's finally pointing the finger at Kody. He only falls in love when it's simple for him. I'm hoping Meri writes a book detailing all of her experiences. The world must be aware. With the speed at which the drama was developing, it appeared as though Kody's once meticulously managed world was evaporating. A family at a turning point. What comes next? One thing was evident as Kody continued to deal with the turmoil that had taken over his life. He was no longer the adored head of a cohesive household. He had tense relationships with his kids. People were questioning his authority. Even those who had previously kept quiet were now starting to speak up. Would Kody try to repair the harm he had caused, or would he keep destroying himself? Would Robyn continue to be the last surviving wife, or would she too start to notice the cracks appearing in the life she had worked so hard to keep safe? And most importantly, what would become of the next generation? Would Aurora and Brianna be able to grow from their elder siblings' mistakes, or would they also become caught in the cycle of desertion and disappointment? Although the answers were still unknown, one thing was certain. The Brown family had been irrevocably altered, and there was no going back. And there's more. In the midst of fresh relationship rumors, Sister Wives star Meri Brown made a big declaration regarding her dating life. She already had multiple marriages with Kody Brown. She loved being close to her sister wives and playing a significant role in the Brown family. Unfortunately, the 30 years of Meri and Kody's marriage came to an end. She needed to find a new purpose for herself and distance herself from her family. Although she didn't confirm any dating rumors, Meri recently posted some adorable pictures of herself and her male friend Brandon that seemed to suggest they were moving in together. Meri recently reshared a humorous self-portrait video that she had previously uploaded months ago. It included her joking about what she would say to her perfect man while seated on a tractor. "You think my tractor is sexy?" she asked, then chuckled at the ridiculousness of her statement. Meri's post was headlined, "No one has to be lonely," and she included a smiling emoji to show how excited she was. She implied that she was unmarried at the moment and amenable to dating by using hashtags like farmers only, dating, and re-die-to-mingle. Meri has once again taken charge of her life, as evidenced by her most recent relationship update. She might have started seeking for her possible companions online or discovered them. In order to locate the right mate, her video also implies that she could be amenable to using matchmaking services like Farmers Only. The Sister Wives star has not said if she has already found her next companion or how she intends to meet them. She has reassured her supporters, nevertheless, that nobody needs to be alone. In her videos, Meri exuded confidence in her quest for genuine love. Meri is open and honest with her social media followers about her dating goals. She has previously discussed the ideal characteristics she seeks in a companion, saying she wants to find someone who is both tall and encouraging. Additionally, Meri has denied reports that she would let Kody marry her, demonstrating her lack of a cordial relationship with him and her willingness to sever all ties. Though she is currently keeping it under wraps, there are rumors that she may already be seeing her close pal Brandon. This video regarding Meri's dating life was reposted. She might have done this to advertise Farmers Only, a company that might have compensated her for the endorsement. Meri is an entrepreneur and social media influencer who has been committed to living her best life and accumulating more fortune. She may have advertised Farmers Only as a business opportunity, or perhaps she did so because she was ready to change and go on. The Sister Wives cast member might be eager to go from single to taken and hopeful that she will soon find the one. It appeared that Sister Wives star Kody Brown and Meri Brown may be happy together when they first met, but their legal marriage that quickly changed into a spiritual one quickly degenerated into small-minded taunts, hurting both parties. It must be stated that Kody seemed crueler than his former spouse. To Kody's credit, Meri ought to have realized what was going on. He kept hinting to her that he was no longer feeling love. She chose not to go nonetheless, for personal reasons. Some of Meri's most scathing insults and taunts were likely sparked by his regrettable catfishing incident. Meri felt lonely when she started talking to a lady she mistook for a man. Meri, deprived of love because of Robyn Brown, discovered what she believed to be superior. But more worse was the individual who deceived her in 2015. Kody was, at least, who he claimed to be. Kody was still harboring his grudge as late as 2023. "It seems like Kody should give Meri some grace," he stated on a Sister Wives look back. "How we started special." The only wife he was obviously truly in love with was Robyn. She most likely had a valid cause for seeking a more satisfying relationship. He could, however, love 4 women in his capacity as the patriarch, but they were unable to pursue relationships with other individuals. That's how polygamy operates, and in certain families, that dynamic brings happiness. But in the Brown household, that was not the case. According to a People exclusive, Meri disputed that her marriage failed because of her affair with a catfish. But even years later, Kody's anger might be telling a different tale. Perhaps her betrayal was a deal-breaker for him. He likely didn't think of her as his wife after that, even though he refused to forgive her. He wanted to convey that he was over it when he called Meri at that time. It's likely that everyone who watched Sister Wives was aware that Kody was no longer in love. However, Meri might have convinced herself something else since she was holding on to what was known. Meri's scammer claimed to be a successful businessman named Sam Cooper. Under the guise of a man in his 40s, the individual deceived Meri. Eventually, it was discovered that Jackie Overton was Meri's romantic interest. Meri, who had been so trusting and had high hopes, was crushed by this, and Kody wouldn't forgive her. Their split was likely caused by a number of factors, but the catfishing episode undoubtedly brought their problems to a breaking point. Perhaps Kody needed to apologize for his inability to comprehend Meri's motivations. He is obviously obsessed with Robyn, as all of his ex-partners were aware. Therefore, she wasn't actually endangering her spiritual bond. The family was bound to fail, and Meri was just being human. Kody appears to be playing the victim when he treats Meri so harshly, suggesting that he is the one who has been wronged. After a staggering 32 years of marriage, Meri and Kody parted ways in January 2023. Following that, Meri attempted to move on with Amos Andrews. Watch the video above to find out more about their brief romance. Only 4 months passed throughout that romance. She is currently hinting at a fresh romance with Brandon Stone. Although she hasn't had luck in love, luck may and typically does change. Meri will feel really strong if she ends her losing trend, and I believe she will. She deserves a fulfilling relationship in which she feels truly appreciated and understood. She is entitled to happiness since she earned it. Even if her pals didn't get along with Kody, there were a lot of put-downs with him. On screen, Kody criticized her mean girlfriends, including Meri's admirable friend Jen Sullivan. Kody actually used derogatory language when describing Meri's friends. Meri can do better. This isn't love or even fondness. He claims that because of her pals, she is unable to locate a boyfriend. In addition to attacking her, he is demeaning her closest loved ones. It was obvious that Kody didn't value Meri's friends, who undoubtedly had an impact on her relationship. Perhaps sometimes the truth was painful. Although he thinks he's being singled out because he loves Robyn, the ex-partners have other perspectives. Their emotions are also legitimate. According to Meri, Jen is more devoted than the majority of her relatives. They collaborate in recording Fridays with Friends portions. They appear to have a solid, happy, and healthy relationship. But Kody perceives danger everywhere. Even if he is deserving of some of the criticism, anyone who would disparage him is excommunicated. Although Kody is not always negative and his feelings should not be disregarded, he was the one who fell in love with Robyn. He had virtually no emotional flexibility as a result. His remaining supplies for the other women were limited. It now appears that Robyn received the most of the money. She reportedly owned $70,000 worth of dolls that she bought on Etsy, the $1 Million House, and the David Yurman signet ring that matched Kody's. Janelle mentioned that they didn't have much money and that Kody withdrew a lot of money from the family fund while she handled the bookkeeping. For Janelle, money seems to be a really sensitive subject that greatly irritates her. She was obviously dissatisfied with her tiny flat during Sister Wives Season 18. Occasionally, scenes were set in Robyn and Kody's shared house. Robyn described it as having a large living area, a luxurious kitchen, and plenty of space for the core family and others. The ex-partners have valid complaints, and they might occasionally be at fault as well. The dynamics of the family were complicated, and things changed once more when Robyn got involved. Whether it was true or not, it felt like Kody and Robyn were icing everyone else out as they drew closer. For instance, they isolated themselves during the epidemic because they were afraid of getting infected. The intriguing thing is that, according to his son Peyton Brown, Kody never bothered to get vaccinated at all. Was Kody's anti-vaxxer stance the reason he was so watchful? There's no evidence, but it adds a fascinating dimension to the pandemic drama by suggesting that, despite having the opportunity to get vaccinated, Kody might have made a decision that caused him to become separated from other Browns. Because of this, it appeared cruel when Kody said to Meri, "Blame yourself if I don't love you," in the dramatic Season 19 trailer. For him, it all made sense, but people who witnessed Kody cut out the family during the COVID-19 outbreak and show preference for Robyn on stage would have thought differently. Perhaps they believed that Kody should take some of the blame because he abused Meri, who was over polygamy. Mentioning their previous position with Kody on screen, although they were officially in a spiritual partnership, their relationship was not conventional. He seemed to look down on her a lot, he hadn't forgiven her for the catfishing, and he seemed to be doing everything he could to encourage her to stop dating him. That wasn't a bad thing, really, but sometimes it felt harsh. It's difficult to dispute, though, that by pushing Meri away, he was assisting her. She could never truly be content with someone who doesn't care about her. So, really, Kody might have been acting appropriately in this situation. With Meri, he has discussed how the writing was on the wall. Here, he plays the victim by implying that she ought to have realized it was over rather than prolonging it. He acts to alienate Meri rather than terminating it himself, as if in the hopes that she will go. That way, he won't have to be the bad guy. Human relationships may be difficult, so it's possible that Kody would have wanted Meri to leave him rather than his asking her to do so. He had to be very honest about his feelings, though, because she disregarded his warning signs, the warning signs that spectators could see from space. It became quite awkward as Meri hung in there. She even became friends with Meri. The two women had an odd bond. Meri appeared to be a little innocent and didn't fully get Robyn. It's probable that Robyn wasn't Meri's best friend because she was obviously interested in monogamy for a long time, even though she pretended not to. By stating that the writing is on the wall, Kody implied that Meri ought to have been aware of what was about to occur. He was blaming her for everything. However, she might have felt uneasy leaving a plural marriage because of her religious beliefs. She may have remained in a spiritual relationship for many pragmatic reasons. In addition to religion, she had to consider her job as a reality star. If she left, she might have been concerned about losing her notoriety. When Meri eventually gave up, realizing that the spiritual union was not progressing, she texted Kody, destined to have yet another disappointing encounter. Kody blamed Meri, even wondering whether she was concealing a romantic interest. Kody has always been completely focused on Robyn, so it was strange to say the least that he would show a brief moment of jealousy over a potential love interest, which was probably a fabrication of his imagination. It was about feeling low on the totem pole, abandoned and unwanted, and Meri had had enough. A secret reason for leaving wasn't really necessary. Anyone would want to leave since the situation was so horrible. Kody became suspicious after Meri left, which seemed strange. Perhaps he was merely trying to give the impression that she had a hidden agenda. Meri shines above, starting a completely new life without Kody. She is receiving a lot of affection from her fans. Almost everyone wants to win a split in the court of public opinion. Even though Kody's partiality caused the family's demise, it occasionally appears like a publicity stunt when he plays the victim. We might not be giving Kody enough credit, though. Meri's catfishing may have caused him to suffer significant injuries. Perhaps her departure reminded him of that hurt and made him wonder if she had another lover. However, Kody loses his breakups when he is depressed. People assume he's fine because he still has a wife and a great house. In reality, they don't look under the surface. He's accustomed to being viewed as a villain. As long as he has a clear conscience, he should be fine. But occasionally, it feels like the sister wives patriarch is burdened by everything that has transpired in his previous marriages. He might be happier if he attempts to see things from Meri's perspective and quits mistrusting her. He is simply mired in the past when he keeps pointing the finger. Let us know in your comments. And stay tuned by subscribing our channel to get more updates like this. Thanks everyone.